perfect formation, and today we will pay a special attention to the words since and for. Let's look at the visual that I have here. It's a conversation between a doctor and a patient. So the patient says, "Oh, doctor, I think I'm starting forgetting things." And the doctor says, "Since when have you had this problem?" And the patient answers, "What problem?" That's just a funny illustration, and the words that are highlighted in red color, since, have, and had, are great examples of the present perfect form. So let's move to our lesson and discuss more details. So the words for and since are great indicators of the present perfect form, and they are used to talk about some time in the past. Here we have a conversation between Amy and Laura. "I haven't seen you since we graduated. How have you been?" "I've been good. I have lived in Seattle for the last 5 years. I'm here to visit my parents." So the phrases "since we graduated" and "for the last 5 years" are highlighted in red color because they indicate some exact time in the past, and also they talk about the usage of the present perfect form. So we have here since, and we have for, and those words are followed by some specific time indicator. So let's move on and talk about some other examples. So in order to use for or since, we use the additional verb have or has plus past participle or the third form of the verb, and we use for or since. For example, Stephen and Susan have been married for 20 years. So the phrase have been married is actually the present perfect form, but I highlighted for 20 years because those words actually talk about the usage of the present perfect. So if you see for 20 years, that means you have to use the present perfect form. It is also used to talk about how long the action or situation existed from the past to the present. Example, Karen has taught at a middle school since 2015. Again, we have since 2015, and has taught is a present perfect form. Let's take a look what kind of words or phrases are followed by the word for and which ones are followed by the word since. So for, we can say 10 years, for 6 months, for 3 weeks, for 4 days, for 20 minutes, for a minute, for a long time. Since 2010, since last year, since May, since last Friday, since yesterday, since this morning, since 9 o'clock this morning, since I moved to Sacramento. And a few other examples in a dialect. How long have you studied English? I have studied English since I moved to Sacramento. How long have you lived in your apartment? I have lived in my apartment for 7 months. And let's look at our short story. Bakewell is a small town in England. Steve Lawrence has lived in Bakewell all his life. Steve is 62 years old. He is married. He has been married to Karen for 25 years. They have known each other since college. Steve and Karen have a daughter. She's a student at the Oxford University. She has studied science for 4 years already. Steve owns a grocery store in town. He has owned a store for 18 years now. He has worked in the store for 15 years too. Something strange happened this week. Nobody has seen Steve for 3 days. His truck has disappeared. Karen doesn't know where he is. Karen has been worried. Steve has had money problems for 2 years already. So if you look at this story, the words in a blue color: has lived, have known, has been married, has studied, has owned, has worked, has seen, has disappeared, has been worried, and has had are great example of the present perfect form. However, I have also underlined the words like for and at some specific time: for 25 years, for 15 years, since college, for 4 years, for 18 years. And that means if you have those words, you have to use the present perfect form. Thank you so much for being with me today. Please don't forget to like our page, share, and subscribe. And if you want to get more information, don't hesitate and become a student at a Highlands Community Charter and Technical Schools.